Everyone to the first core team meeting of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everyone's gonna have a nice, prosperous 2022. And if you're lucky, maybe your face will end up on a POAP, forever locked in the blockchain. Too bad our person of honor is not on the call at this time. But Amy, you have been officially POAP'd, so you're welcome. So this is our first core team meeting. We're planning for week 1, which is this coming week because we work off the Monday being the first day. And so let's go take a look what we got going on. So just some reminders that we got participation in the live stream. You get 10 REtoken for that, commenting and whatnot. And don't forget, we can do that in YouTube and Discord, of course. It does, and Facebook, actually. You can send on Facebook, but you can't see what other people are sending on Facebook. So probably better off just going over to YouTube or the Discord. Let's see what else we got. All right, let's take a look at upcoming events before we go any further. So right now we have our meeting today, and then we have the platform team meeting coming up. Actually, I should probably do this in Google Calendar, huh? This works. I'd have to do some filtering I don't want to spend some dead air doing that. So we got our platform team call coming up tomorrow, and the content team also right after that. And then the 4th is Tuesday, the dev team, and then finally ambassadors right after that on Tuesday. Are we missing any events? I don't think so. All right.
Kicking it off strong in 2022. WAGMI 2022.
WAGMI. Anyway, it just does not sound like what it means. You know, like we are going to make it, but WAGMI is what it. Don't know. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so let's get into our agenda. Let's look at. This is really our main topic for today, and that is. How we're going to manage the core team and team captains going forward. A couple of us did notice that the community call and the core team call have a lot of overlap with like team updates and everything. The agenda is very, very similar. So Ms. Jonks threw these items on the calendar. Thank you, by the way, because I forgot to. And so let's go ahead and start discussing that. Ms. Jonks, you want to kick off that first bullet? I'm not quite sure the context on that one.
Sure. So thanks, Blurs. One of the things that I think is really important is when we're being respectful of everybody's time, and I want to make sure that every meeting that we have is strictly necessary to move REtoken forward. If it's not necessary, I don't want to have a meeting. So one of the things that we're asking people to do a lot with ambassadors and new platform and dev and everything that we're asking people to do. So one of the things I thought would be helpful is to have everybody be on their team meeting, and then we either have the community or the core team call, drop the other one. And since most of the main members are in the US, I don't think we have to worry about having multiple calls to accommodate time zones. It would be different if we were huge and global and half our members were in Asia and it was always the middle of the night and things like that. Since we don't have that problem yet, I would just encourage us to either pick Sunday or Wednesday, and then everybody can participate in whatever team calls they want. And then the team captains can come together for one meeting a week and give updates, and anybody else who wants to join that meeting and participate can. And that seems to just be have it basically shifted to a team captain / new business meeting, and then have a lot of the work getting done in the breakout groups.
Well, perhaps we should just get some feedback here as far as how everybody is liking this idea of a team captain, and I'm gonna let Blurs kick that off. So how are you liking it? How this team captain idea, Blurs?
I actually really like it because if I'm not directly involved in a meeting, I tend to alt tab around. So it forces me to be on top of things and be more engaged. So I actually like it. It's kind of a form of discipline for me. So I will. I mean, I will pass the baton in 2 weeks, I believe, and then probably look to maybe if no one steps up for another team or something like that, I might step up and take over another one just to keep things going. But for me, selfishly, it's extremely valuable. Plus, it gets me used to all the tools and how everything works here. As we've discussed before, things are a little more complicated from what I'm used to on how it's organized. So this kind of forces me to understand it and be more averse. I'm not averse. What's the word I'm looking at? Accustomed to it. So yeah, anybody else?
Well, I will, before anybody else hops in, I want to recognize you for stepping up on that. So that's one of the hopes that I had, and you are have done an absolutely fabulous job. So thank you for stepping up here, because want to provide other people the opportunity to have a voice and, you know, develop some leadership capabilities, because that will be absolutely imperative for REtoken to scale to what I hope that it will here in 2022. So thank you, Blur's Day, for having that initiative. And I saw Amy commented on thanks for the POAP there on the live stream.
Amy is immortal now, so that just happened.
I missed that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things. One is, do the team captains aside, does everybody feel fine about dropping one of these 2 meetings a week? Or are they both so valuable that they need to be? Because I feel like they're each one is valuable, but so much overlap, we could probably just drop one and get the same effect.
I'll even take that a step further. I think with where we're at right now, and this is one of the things that I think that we've struggled with, and we haven't spent any efforts in. I think that we should just do away with the core team here and focus on delivering things through the teams that we've identified. And, you know, we had this new platform team, and I think that that's something else that we should just simplify here. That's something that I really heard a lot of feedback. We had this BIDL a KISS philosophy or whatever community, keep it super simple. So I'll even ratchet it up a notch and say, I think that we should just condense to 3 teams here: the dev team, the content team, and the ambassadors team, at least for now, and get more synergy and more momentum on that. That's actually what I would advocate.
And I would ask, like, so are we saying that, so there'll be 3 teams, 3 team captains, 1 community call, and then will there be individual team meetings?
Yeah. So Ryan, I don't know if you caught when Blurs was saying the ambassador meeting, the dev meeting, this meeting, that meeting. So if you're on all of those teams, what we just really are feeling like we're overloading people with meetings, and as our community is getting bigger, we are going to need fewer people, or fewer of the same people on each team. So right now, kind of everybody's doing everything. We're growing a lot. We're over 300 people in the Discord. We're getting lots of momentum. Julie's been coming out of nowhere, being really helpful. A lot of people, D-Sign, awesome. Michael Martin, like we're attracting some really talented new people that are just jumping in. So yeah, so we dumped the core team. Captain, maybe captain, co-captain, so it's not all on one person. So maybe there's 2 leads on each team if we need that, one or 2, and then that's it.
And then you're saying that I thought I heard earlier that the thought was that there would be then a meeting of all the team captains. Is that what I heard?
So the thoughts on that, Ryan, would be just to allow the team captain to vocalize it during the community call. And that's something that we've like Blurs, it became evident because Blurs was the one that really floated this up, and just allow the team captain or the backup if that's necessary. And that's, I think, a solid idea. To have, communicate via the community call what's occurring. And again, this is everything that we're doing here is a work in progress. And that's just taking what we saw here with this during this REtoken relaunch month in December. We went from in November, we just had the core team, and then we introduced the dev team, the content team, the ambassadors. Then we also are still exploring a new platform team, but just to get more synergy within the small people that are actively contributing. And then, maybe we fast forward 6 months or maybe even just a quarter. That's one of the things where we can be nimble and kind of ebb and flow what makes the most sense going forward. And just again, that when you think about like the time commitment, and one of the hopes that I have here, and this is one of the things that we'll be talking about in the following hour block, hopefully people will be able to participate, because we implemented Coordinate, and that's one of the things that would really like to have more conversations about that in the upcoming window. But one of the things that we haven't done yet that I think would be a great usage case of the tool Superfluid is to provide some extra incentives for these people that have said, yes, I would like to have a more of a leadership role. And then the nice thing about Superfluid is that you could say, whether it's like 250 REtoken a week or whatever we decide, then that could just be set up to stream automatically as an additional incentive for the people that say, yes, I want to have some additional responsibilities. And then the team captain would be responsible for, driving the show during their live stream for their team meeting.
Okay, I think I kind of get it. So basically what you're saying is that there will be team captains. They will meet, they don't meet individually. It's not like just a team captain meeting ever. It's basically, they just pop on the community call and represent the teams.
Correct. Yeah, they just, yep. You got it.
Exactly.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Got that. Just FYI, if you don't mind getting the collab land, I didn't know we had a meeting because it's not collab land.
Oh, shoot.
Coordinate.
Oh, the Coordinate.
Oh, darn it. I missed. Man, I
Fired.
set up all these and I'm fired. Ah.
All right. Okay. We're gonna dock your pay.
I could see that.
I know, right? No bonus REtoken for you.
Yeah, your USD salary will be cut in half for the next 2 weeks.
I appreciate that. You're gonna take my red stapler away?
That's my stapler.
Yeah. By the way, fun fact, I have to stop making that joke because I'm in my 40s and people our age get it, but I asked this guy who's doing some work on my house if he thought Die Hard was a Christmas movie, and he's like, I don't know, that movie came out way before I was born. And then I was sad inside. Anyway.
And it is a Christmas movie.
I had a previous, I don't want to segue too much, but I ran a previous job, and everyone on my team, I made a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure reference, and they were all born after the movie. So no one got that. So I gave them a homework assignment to watch the movie over the weekend. Anyway.
Amazing.
Let's keep going. So let's see, multi-signature vote and rotating schedule. Put this on?
Yeah, I did. So like I mentioned before, Jason and I got really involved with this brand new, came out of nowhere airdrop called the Open DAO that all of a sudden was worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. So people started trading it. So completely different circumstance because they went from nowhere to having like hundreds of millions of dollars in their treasury. We set up our multi-sig. We set up our multi-sig when I think we either had no money or maybe we just won that DGov hackathon for $3,500. Not sure when the timing was. But now that we got that Polygon grant, we're starting to build a treasury. I think from a good governance standpoint and as a way to engage new people, because we don't have a ton of, I don't think we've had anything that doesn't pass by 100% because it's not controversial. Like, should Blurs be the community member of the week, or should, we have POAPs? I mean, stuff like that. So it's not really controversial. I would love to get people involved and voting in a way that their vote matters. So something that I thought would be just a good governance, and this is something that Open DAO did, was they said anybody can put themselves up if they have, I think, a minimum of 50 likes. They had to they had to put in the channel they were interested in, and then 50 people had to like it. And then those people got on the list. Their community is 57,000 people. Ours is 300. I think anybody that wants to run for it is welcome to do that this time. If we have 57,000 people, we'll have to limit that. But from a governance standpoint, I would just love to say, hey, who wants to be on the multi-sig? I would like to propose expanding it from the 5 people it is now to 7 people, and just ask people to raise their hand, and then we just vote. Approval voting, vote for any or all, or maybe have a none of the above, whatever. But I would just really like to have something public that says the community wants these people on the safe from a trust mechanism as we get more money and as we build a track record, and to do it, a couple times a year, just to make sure that the people that are on the safe are still engaged and whatever, just from a governance standpoint. So that's the thought. How do you guys feel about that?
The only reservation that I have about that, and I don't know what it looks like, it's not a concern with our Gnosis safe on Polygon, but anytime that we do change the Gnosis safe on Ethereum mainnet, it's a transaction cost, and I don't think it's just a cheap transaction cost. So just putting that out there as far as a con on that, I love the idea, because I think that provides, because that's one of the big value propositions that I see here, is that we're all learning together. I mean, we're inviting everybody to come participate in our live streams. We love the and we're all learning here together. This space is so new, so the opportunity to increase people's exposure. And just to put this out here, this is something that I would encourage you to do, on your own. It's literally like pennies to set up a Polygon Gnosis safe. Like if you've got you and a buddy, just to practice that out. It's a fabulous dynamic, and it's very easy to do. So just putting that out there. But I love the idea, just putting that out there as a potential cost factor, and we'll have a better idea of what that cost will be when we go through this exercise, because I think that we have an immediate need and opportunity to refresh our multi-sig signers.
So not a decision that needs to be made now. It was just something, OpenDAO just did this. I thought their process was really nice. It was a very clean and transparent and appropriate way to handle millions or hundreds of millions of dollars in your safe. You could very easily go back through the Discord and then the snapshot and say, these people, and Youngst and I hosted a couple of panels with some of the candidates, and then there were some other Twitter spaces, and there were some AMAs. I mean, this is I think anybody that wants to go back and kind of audit the process can say these people represent the community. The community wanted these people. It wasn't just randos and whatever. So I thought the process was super, and I just wanted to do that. So anyway, we can move on, but just something to kind of toss out.
Yeah, can you keep an eye on it and see how it goes there? It sounds like, I mean, obviously both of you are really involved in the OpenDAO. Even though I played around on OpenSea, I didn't get any airdrop, and I didn't feel like escalating it. But anyway,
the ironic thing was that we bought an NFT from a project that we ended up rage quitting, because we were like, these guys are not who we want to be partners with. And then we basically yelled at them and threw our mittens on the floor and walked away. And then we get this big airdrop, and now we're running their YouTube, and we have 8 live streams today. So that happened anyway. So Blurs, and so Jason, can you please pull up that snapshot and from OpenDAO? I want to just show you guys kind of how this thing shook out, just real quick, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I'll stop share.
All right, share screen. Let's see. Put me on the spot here. Here we go.
Yeah, I love to do that.
All right. So snapshot, and we still are waiting to get the because the thoughts is that the HAL XYZ bot should be good to go, right? As far as when we do new proposals, that your understanding, Blurs?
It's been good for Discord. We have not had a single snapshot since I modified the Twitter one.
Well, we'll be having a bunch coming here this week. I promise you that, and I will. That's one of going to be one of my main focuses here tomorrow, is to get caught up on the airdrops.
Pull this up, and then we got some other stuff we got to do, and then we got to move on.
Yeah, thanks for keeping us on track. So this was this was done using an approval voting mechanism, and the way that I understand that is that you can vote on everybody that you would say, yes, I want the keys to. And this is actually one that I was very pleased with the amount of support that I actually got. I was a multi-sig candidate for consideration in this myself, and it was a very fun process. And but this would be another. I don't think that we've used approval voting on, and this is one of the things.
Well, we use it for the we use it for the bank account when we had Avanti and Uphold and whatever else was on the list. So
I think it was a different.
No, we did ranked and it kind of.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And we should have used that would have been a much better voting mechanism. Going back down here, and that's another thing too that will be on the bank account thing. Amy and I did a live stream a week or so ago on the uphold.com. It's technically not a bank account, but we believe that it could potentially facilitate the need of transacting via fiat. So instead of just having an off ramp, I don't think it necessarily provides a good off ramp, but the ability to go from crypto to Uphold and then facilitate fiat payments. Like we've got one of the opportunities that we've got this Zoom account that's like a personal account. So the opportunity to move that to a REtoken Zoom account so that these team captains can utilize the REtoken Zoom account for the scheduling of their team meetings. So we have several immediate opportunities to do that. But the one that we were talking about here is ranked choice voting.
Yeah. So the main reason why I wanted to show you guys the multi-sig was it was not one guy getting 90%, everybody else splitting the other 10. It was pretty clean all the way down. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of support. And so if you guys like this,
real quick, here's another POAP opportunity. I saw that Amy popped on. You got POAP, so welcome Amy to the call here. And this is another opportunity too, because I know that we don't have a lot of time, but we're doing this REtoken relaunch. Circle back here on that, but this is an opportunity for the dev team to get this integration working. And it's not something that I think that we need to do for every time, because we do a lot of proposals, and you'll be seeing like a lot of proposals here coming up this week. This whole like WeBiddle stuff, the REtoken relaunch, is something that are going to float through our approval process. One that also moved forward with, but gonna immortalize it in Snapshot that we did get was the since I got the driving train over here, this is one that I wanted to go back, because I don't know how many people were on the community call on the I can't remember last Wednesday, but this was an important one. Is the election or the selection rather of the tax treatment as a corporation. And the reason that that's important, because if we didn't do that, then any of the revenues would be potentially distributed like a partnership, kind of a pass-through dynamic. So that's something that we got facilitated. And again, going to run this through the Snapshot proposal, just more of a signal to the community as well, because we also use snapshot.org as a component of our overall strategy from a content standpoint. And that'll become more apparent here in 2022, because we're still refining our content strategy.
Hey, I'm cutting you off. Love you so much. Back to you, Blurs. So can you go back to the agenda, please?
Yeah, let me get back. Let me steal the screen. All right. Okay, now I got to move everybody over to the right so I can see. Okay, we're back here. Yeah, here we are. We are just finishing up this.
Okay.
And then
so hopefully that was clear to everybody. The next thing was Teresa had actually started this document, so I don't know if she shared it to everybody. Blurs, if you either please open that document, or if you can, I can share it to you real fast. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's the right document. All right, cool. So the red and the black were notes that she had pulled off of our call. And then if you scroll down a little bit to the bottom, the one that starts with FAQ, this part, how do I buy REtoken, earn REtoken?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So go up a little bit. Yeah, right here. This is part that I added in yesterday. If we have time today or whenever, I would like to, we opened up that page in our Git book that said FAQs coming soon. And then Teresa started this document to aggregate it. And then I don't think any of us really followed up. So I was thinking about last night, added in a bunch of stuff. I actually took this list. I started this list from one that I pulled off Bankless, and there was one other server that I kind of aggregated stuff from, and then I added in some of my own stuff. I would love all of your feedback. Are any of these questions are inappropriate? Are they, what am I missing? Whatever. So I'd like us to either on this call or sometime so we can put this in there. So it's up to you, Blurst. I don't know what else we have on the agenda for what we have time for.
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, and I'm on mute. That's awesome. Okay. I had my mute backwards. Okay. So we have a DAO business, and then nothing. And then I did catch Young's asking if dev team could look into POAP integration on Snapshot. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. So unless you want to talk about DAO business first and then spend the remainder working on the doc, how's that sound?
Sure. Real quick. Just one. So on the threads, I saw that some people, when new people post an introduction, if we could all just get in the habit of just immediately making a thread and then posting something in the thread and trying to get that started. Otherwise, it just gets a little chaotic in that. You guys are so wonderful about welcoming everybody to the community and really engaging them. We're getting some new people involved. I just wanted to keep that culture going, that we create threads on this. So that's really helpful. The other thing is we're starting, now that we're getting a little bit bigger, we're starting to get more scam bots. There was some, Youngs, do you remember the name of that server that was DMing every channel trying to get people to join their server?
Yeah, it was Nemesis DAO. We saw a lot of that in BitDAO. It was something that was so bad that I even sent out a tweet. I was like, you guys are doing something to incentivize spammy behavior, and it was out of control.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've talked about this before, but I don't know if we ever kind of came to any resolution. Getting CAPTCHA installed. So to start with, I just cranked up our server to, you have to have a verified phone number. That should take care of a lot of spam, just because you can't have duplicate accounts unless you happen to have duplicate phone numbers. What else can we do to stem spam? So how, is it not really a problem yet? Do we need to put this conversation off, or do we want to kick some ideas around or whatever?
I really think that's a question for the dev team. I'm not an expert in that realm. Pretty much most Discords I manage are not community, so they are more or less private. I'm not sure if anyone else in this would, but I mean, obviously there's, I've said it many times, there's Bright ID, of course. You could also do, well, we don't want to do collab land because not everyone who participates may or may not have a wallet. But yeah, CAPTCHA bots is definitely an option. I think that worked really well on the Geyser DApp. So, but I'm not an expert. This is just my observations from the various Discords I'm in.
Well, I guess this is more of a question for Ernest, Poopster. I know you guys are in tons of servers. What are your thoughts on this? And Yox, whenever you want to kick in.
I know I got to figure out how to set my status to invisible, because I do leave my DMs open so that I can receive DMs. But essentially, if you're visible in Discord, then when the bots come in and just look at who's visible in your Discord, they just start sending DMs to those people. So
well, I started a scam and spam channel. So if you get one, I mean, obviously report them and block them, but then tag them there so that I can block them from the server. Or if you guys want, I can make you a moderator on the Discord so you can do it. But I do not want to get a reputation for being a server that's filled with spam. That's the easiest way to kill a community for a new person.
I don't even know where, like, they get DM'd to me, right? So like I can see from some of my gaming discords that it's, you know, somebody from that gaming discord that's DMing me, but I don't feel like I get spam from people in REtoken in particular. And
we've been
you
pretty
know,
careful about immediately kicking people out when they start, but the biggest thing is we also didn't have that big of a community, so we weren't a target. I mean, if you've got 5,000 members or 50,000, you're just a better target for spammers.
And some of the recent stuff is probably because of the additional activity that been doing here on OpenDAO. And I think that there's some reasons why for that, because some of the videos that I did initially were streamed to, I think I even had a link on one of them to our new Discord, and we do have that in place, by the way. We have our Discord vanity URL in place. Thanks again for all of the Discord server boosters, and that's another opportunity that we have to explore some more fun community stuff with the fully boosted Discord server that we haven't done yet. So that's something that need to add as a bullet point for some of our other team calls here this week, and I'll remember to bring that up as some action items. And I can't remember if we installed the server captcha bot. This is something that we've talked about in the past, but I think that goes back to when we're talking about just kind of doing a overall reboot as far as the welcome to the REtoken Discord experience, that I think that we should integrate that into that. And again, we can have more conversations in our breakout team calls here this coming week.
Well, just so you guys know, if anybody posts a link to another server with, I guess we can either set up a shill channel if people want to do that, or we can just ban those people. I mean, I don't see a lot of benefit to, I don't know anybody who contributes and is great and then dump servers. I mean, those just aren't the same people. It's usually in the middle of an active conversation of saying like, hey, great, like we're doing something cool here too, but it's somebody that's actively contributing. Usually it's just, they're just spam.
Yep. Yeah, so there are definitely captcha bots. I was just looking to see if Me6 has it. I'm not sure if it does, but yeah, if someone wants to dig into that, we probably should set up a bounty for that.
Yeah, and that's another opportunity that we have too, is really like, as far as one of the functions that team captains will fulfill is helping to drive the bounty process. And I would like to see more bounties being created. I mean, when you look at the amount of REtoken that we've distributed out of the 10 million that we created, I'm not saying, hey, let's give out the REtoken or anything crazy like that, but just be more thoughtful, coming up with some ideas on how that we can incentivize various things that we need to, or that we want to see get done here to make our organization better.
Okay, let's who wants to step up and create the bounty for this, and then we could.
Well, here's one that I've been trying to get somebody to step up for, and I spoke about it earlier. I would really like to see somebody create a proposal for the team captains and the superfluid. I know that when Dax and Amy and D-Sign, everybody's excited about it, but I'm still putting forward the opportunity for somebody to create a well thought out proposal so that we can move forward with that initiative, because the leadership of being a team captain does come with some additional responsibilities and the opportunity to use some of these cool tools. And I mean, true story, like and you know, like, I think my favorite superfluid is the one that I have with and Poopster can attest to, because he's also a founding 100 NFT holder for Creator DAO. And I love seeing that stream coming in from the founding citizen there. And I would like to see a stream, like us creating a stream, superfluid streams for our team captains.
Superfluid, such a cool tool. Hey, Ernest, you had some great comments on the YouTube that I just wanted to address. So the biggest reason why we did this as a C Corp is because right now, if we didn't have C Corp treatment, then we would have to either claim all of the REtoken's assets on Jason and my personal tax return, which doesn't work because we don't have access to the money, or we'd have to treat REtoken like a partnership and send you guys all K1s for this value that you don't also have access to. So you own REtokens, we'd have to assign some value to that, and all of a sudden you'd be getting a K1 for 17 cents that you'd have to report. It's a pain in the ass. So either of those are not great options. So we decided just let it file its own tax return. We will be responsible for filing the tax return. We just wanted to let you guys know that that's what
I'm not volunteering for filing any tax returns. I'm not making that decision. So we can talk about that later, because it's not something that we have to finalize right now. But that was the main reason, is that since we are a Wyoming DAO LLC, and LLCs by default with the IRS are treated as partnerships. So, and the form that we completed was Form 8832. We've got that linked on the voting proposals there, and that's something that we'll again put forward in better language via the snapshot proposal. But that's again just more of a signal to the rest of the world as far as, hey, we are being good stewards. This is a business. We are a legal business entity. There's DAOs that don't operate under any legal structure, and we believe that it's better too, because you get additional treatments from a legal standpoint. But anyway, we've got a tight agenda, and we've got a call coming up here in 10 minutes. Implementing Coordinate, and it's an important one because we just concluded our first round of Coordinate. Anyway, I'm going on mute.
Okay. Do we want to, so what else do we need to do besides FAQs, Blair's? What else is on here?
That's it.
Okay.
Nomination for Community Member of the Week.
Okay. Does anybody have one? Okay, I want to nominate Yanks because he has been doing so much, and a lot of it's been behind the scenes. And even the stuff that he's been doing with BitDAO and OpenDAO, we got in touch with some community guys that are huge venture capital, former Wall Street guys. We're like, oh yeah, REtoken's a cute little project, and all of a sudden they saw that we were involved with BitDAO and OpenDAO in leadership roles, and all of a sudden they were interested in REtoken. So we're doing everything that we need to do to get the housing protocol and all the stuff going in 2022. And he's working like 16-hour days on this stuff. So I nominate you.
Thank you. And I will put it out here. You are my superpower. You're the one that makes all of this happen. So thank you for that. And just to provide a little bit of strategy for the OpenDAO is it's an NFT community, and I've been advocating this idea for cooperative housing NFT, co-op housing NFT, because we believe that can turn into a cooperative housing protocol, which I believe that we can fulfill through real estate tokenization. So this is all just part of the DAO master plans, if you will. And I put S in there because anyway, I can talk about that way longer than we have budgeted time for here today.
Sure. Well, I wanted to keep this on point. We only have 5 more minutes. What's the best way to do the FAQ? Should I put that in? Do we want to go through? I mean, a lot of the stuff is just really kind of simple stuff, but
you mean as far as where that content is going to exist? It's going to exist, and go on another tab real quick to docs.io REtoken.info. I think that we spoke briefly about this, but we did get it swung over to our new RET.team. You can see the redirect is in place, and you can see right there the big red question mark FAQ. So we need to bundle this up and put it here on the here on this page. So, and that's one of the things. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, yeah, I actually wrote what I wrote to put on this page. I just didn't want to start plastering stuff before you guys had a chance to take a look at it, edit it, tweak it, add to it, whatever you want.
So, I don't know if somebody wants to take an action item to see if there's some nice blocks, because one of the things that I've seen in some FAQ pages where it just has the question and then you have to click on something where it expands. Am I doing a good visualization for that functionality?
Yeah. The pluses. Are you sure it works in Gitbook?
That's why I'm putting it out there. If somebody wants to explore how to do that, I think that's a cleaner. That many.
Yeah, we definitely can explore that. There just aren't that many questions though, and part of it is, like, how do I join REtoken's Discord? Here's a link. Like, and I don't even know if we need it because that link's already there. Like, I just wanted.
Go back real quick, Blurs, to the because we've got some of that, like how to earn REtoken. So the opportunity of like potentially redirecting there. So I'm just talking out loud, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. And again, a lot of this was just stuff that I took from Bankless and a couple of other places that I just thought was just really, really good. Just added it for our stuff. And I want us to be set up to have 50,000 people in our server. And so we're not getting the same questions over and over all the time. So if it's on there more than once, it's fine. If you want to do a redirect, that's fine too. Whatever's, either way is good.
All right. So what do y'all want to do? You want to? It's 6 minutes to the hour. We could also just review this offline too, and maybe in a thread on the content team or something. Or
yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, we've got another call coming up in 5, and Jason, if you could please double check the link. I had problems with the Zoom. I don't know if any of you guys did too. It was redirecting to an old meeting. So if you could just double check the new link. I didn't get the coordinates.
Did you do the sesh bot, or are we gonna just skip that?
I don't know. Do we need to do the sesh bot?
This is a pretty important coordinate because we're concluding this first round. So I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts. I think condensing from the 5 coordinate teams that we had, but we can talk about that coming up here. I'd like to have a small break so I can refill my tea and you have a bio break and then be ready for yet another live stream. We're doing all the live streams today because it's WAGME 2022.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, hey, let's close this up then. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you all on the other side.
Absolutely. Thanks for hosting, Blurs and Mrs. Yonks. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out here today. Looking forward to 2022.